I am Dr. S. Sebastian Mal, Assistant Professor of Physics in Holy Cross College, Nagarkoil. Today, we are going to discuss the topic on solar pond and its types. A solar pond is a solar energy collector, generally large in size, which looks like a pond. This type of solar energy collector uses a large salty lake as a kind of a flat plate collector that absorbs and stores energy from the sun in the warm, lower layers of the pond. These ponds can be natural or man-made, but generally speaking, the solar ponds that are in operation today are artificial. In fresh water ponds, the sun heats the water and the hot water rises. The water cools through the evaporation as the heat is released to the atmosphere, keeping the pond water at atmospheric temperature. Solar pond technology, on the other hand, attempts to prevent the loss of heat from water through the use of salt, the concentration of which increases the depth. The solar pond is the simplest technique for direct thermal conversion of solar energy. The solar pond artificially prevents either vertical conversion or surface evaporation or both. Because of its massive thermal storage and of measures taken to retard heat loss, the typical pond takes weeks for a 10 degrees Celsius temperature loss, even in the absence of insulation. Thus, the solar pond converts an intermittent energy source, solar radiation, into a reliable source of thermal energy. Solar ponds can be operated at virtually all habitable latitudes. In some locations, their surfaces may freeze in winter, but storage temperatures will remain high enough for low temperature applications. Some insulation will still penetrate the ice. Solar ponds are less expensive and they are more efficient at high temperatures. Their chief disadvantage compared with flat plate collectors is that, with the possible exception of the shallow solar pond, they cannot be mounted on rooftops. Therefore, the area requirement for solar ponds is a concern. They have a potential to displace a very significant amount of present-day fossil fuel usages. Now, we are going to see the types of solar ponds. Shallow solar ponds. It is known as solar tip ponds. Both the solar pond top and solar pond bottom zones are shallow and they are separated by the gradient zone. Solar ponds of this type have a top zone that only covers the gradient zone. Solar tip ponds quickly reach maximum temperature since heat is not transferred through the thermal diode. The shallow solar pond is almost the same as the flat plate collector with water storage. The main difference is that the solar pond collector is fixed in a horizontal position. Several solar ponds can be connected together and hot water from them can be pumped and stored in large insulated reservoir. Water temperature in the range of 50 to 75 degrees Celsius is obtained and used as industrial process heat and for electricity generation by employing a secondary fluid, which will drive a turbine coupled to an electrical generator. Second type is partition solar ponds. In a partition solar ponds, the lower convection zone and non-convective zone is separated by a transparent portion. The lower convective zone can be used for seasonal storage of heat for house heating. The portion also helps in maintaining the stability in the pond, and heat can be extracted from lower convective zone without disturbing the non-convective zone. The efficiency of partition solar pond is higher than the conventional non-conventional solar pond. Viscosity stability solar ponds. In the viscosity stabilized solar pond, a kind of gel is used in water, making it non-converted sole idea of viscosity stabilized solar pond. It is known that the Rayleigh number, which relates Bayesian forces and viscous drag, is responsible for the circulation and its critical value for the onset of natural convection for a layer of fluid bounded top and bottom and heated from the bottom is 1707. Rayleigh number is given as Ra is equal to G beta delta D du cube by Va. From the above equation, it is seen that by increasing the viscosity, the Rayleigh number can be reduced below the critical number and thereby suppressing the natural convection. Membrane stratified saltless solar ponds. The idea of this membrane stratified saltless solar ponds appears to be taken from the flat plate collectors, where transparent is used for natural convection suppression. Since no salt is used in this pond can be made maintenance free and low cost. There is no environmental or geological hazard with a membrane stratified solar pond. Teflon is suggested to be the suitable membrane material because of its long life, high transparency, inert to virtually all chemicals, commercial availability in all sizes and thickness. Saturated solar ponds. They have top and bottom zones that are shallow and separated by a gradient zone. In such a pond, salt for which the solubility increases quickly with temperature. The pond water is kept saturated with such a salt at all levels, and since the pond is hotter in the bottom, more salt is dissolved in the bottom. In such a pond, vertical diffusion of salt is prevented and the density gradient is stable, thus making the pond maintenance free. MgCl2 and borax are salts which can form a stable saturated solar pond. Solar pond technology has made tremendous progress in the last 15 years. Solar ponds can be made effectively used as displacements in industries that use fossil fuel to generate thermal energy. Solar pond can be used for process heating, refrigeration, water desalination, production of magnesium chloride, bromide recovery from bittern, and enhancement of salt yield in salt form. It will be the future energy source. The solar ponds are a promising technology for harnessing solar energy using the principle of salinity stratification. While they offer a cost-effective and efficient way to generate thermal energy, challenges like maintenance and limited geographical applicability should be considered. Further research and development could enhance their viability in contributing to sustainable energy solutions. Hope You have gained some knowledge about solar pond and its types. Thank you.